the chat, welcome in. We got a few good longtime Hex people here as well. So welcome in. Howdy to you. I wanted to ask you this. I starred this from Ivor. I almost said Igor. Do you boys think PulseX will 10x above SAC, which will define what that means for anybody who doesn't know and a friend is looking to invest? Well, of course, we're not going to tell a friend. If you're looking for a price that you think a token is going to get to sell your friend, I don't even know if they should get into anything, honestly, because that you need to actually, they need to understand what it is. Do they know what PulseX is? Do they know what Pulse Chain is? Do they understand crypto? Like, I would worry about all of that stuff first. In terms of getting above 10x SAC, I have a strong feeling about what Ewok will respond with, but I was just kind of looking and doing the math when I saw your question, and that would be about a 45x from here of where, which is crazy to think of. Like, I don't think people realize that. Like, PulseX, like some of the stuff is down enough now where you think, like, people talk about sacrifice rate, and now you're like 10x SAC rate, like that's not a great number. Well, these prices have been so low for so long, and if you've DCA'd this whole time, that's now turned into, again, from where we are right now for PulseX, would be a 45x. So
we're
we're
80% off of SAC rate right now, I believe, and then from there another 10x. So I mean, eventually with the burn mechanism. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
I don't even know. No, I don't think you did. I didn't feel like you did.
Okay. Well, with the burn mechanism in place, I think PulseX is going to be your long time holder. I think it's going to gradually grow as far as that goes, because the supply getting burnt, when the market heats up, the amount of buy and burn that's going to happen is going to, I think, be pretty crazy. I don't know that you're going to see hockey sticks on PulseX, but I think you're going to see. Remember, we always look at the pulse versus PulseX chart. This chart, how it just kind of keeps climbing. I think you're going to continue to see that with this token. I don't think it's going to be a hot and heavy run up. It will mirror, I think, with the rest of the market. But I see this one as being a longer term, just more steady rise. And eventually, I mean, I think eventually it'll 10x. I mean, you got to put a time frame out there too. Do I think it's going to happen next week? No. But, over time, over at least 2 cycles, we'll definitely get, I think, 10x above SAC price. So, how long of a time frame does this person have? Many people are in this for the lottery ticket winners, to get rich quick, and it just doesn't work that way. Like, unless you happen to get lucky with a buy and a sell within a couple months later, and you've timed it perfectly, but that happens to so few people. So, ask your friend how long of a time frame he has. I think it is a good long-term investment. I think the whole Pulse Chain ecosystem is still so undervalued of what it should be. So, I mean, if that's the advice you can give your friend, then there you go. It's just a matter of time frame.
Did you just say there? Maybe I half heard you. Did you just say there that you didn't think that it would get to 10x above SAC rate until next cycle?
I said I don't know. I don't know that it'll 10x SAC rate this cycle, but I think it definitely will by the next cycle. I've always thought a 3 or 4x. I think, but who knows? These things can do crazy things. I mean, there's just so many tokens out there this early in the game that getting that high and having that much sell pressure, probably from people that are dumpers anyway, that aren't real serious about the ecosystem. Who knows? I think a 4 or 5x from SAC rate is probably more realistic this cycle. Could go a lot higher. I don't know, but I like to be realistic so that when it does overshoot it, I'm pleasantly surprised.
I just mean you've been somebody who's been a pretty uber bull this entire time. I thought a 45x from here to you would have been like easily thought that you would surpass that. So that's just why I'm asking that, just based on some of the stuff you've said in the past. But
I feel like 10x from sack rate is a lot more than 45x.
It's a 45x from here. It's a 45x from where we're at right now. It definitely is 10x of sack rate. So if you do sack rate divided by where the price of PulseX is right now, which is 0.0001, which I will say to everybody, like for people who do not know, I don't want to get into what the sacrifice is and all these definitions, but basically the sack rate, or the price that supposedly everybody like got tokens for at the beginning when they sacrificed, was 3 zeros and a 1. So you do that divided by where PulseX is right now, which is what, like 4022 or something like that, 2154.
2154.
Okay, so that gives you 4 point. So that gives you 4.64, and then just do that times 10, because it would be 10x of that sack rate, right? I mean, I think that's how you would figure that out. That gives you like a 45, 46x from here, basically. So, yeah, that's definitely right. So, yeah. And that's pretty much where you pretty much have acted like that those numbers were easily going to be that'd be a 46x. So, I mean, I think honestly, that's about the, if I had a crowdsource or just like things I've heard people say and speculators, which I mean, you can wipe your ass with that really. I mean, we don't know anything for sure.
Right.
I would say, I'd actually say that's probably 45x from here is probably like the average that you would get people saying, honestly, if you were to actually like crowdsource a lot, because you're going to have your people out there, they're like, oh, we're still getting 1,000x this cycle, which I don't even remotely plan on. You know, you have people that are black pill doomer forever, pulse chain sucks, Richard ruined everything, that think that, you know, we'd be lucky to get a 5x from here. And if you look, you know, kind of like people that think in the middle, I think they'd be looking about the price that you gave Ivor, I'm sorry, as, you know, around average. But again, for your friend, that's not advice to get in based on that. I would not get in based on that. I would make sure they understand what PulseX is. I would make sure they understand what Pulse Chain is. And, you know, because look at how many friends have gotten into crypto and they aren't friends with that person anymore. Or they, you know, I'm not a huge fan of getting friends in, you know, that may not already be naturally inclined. So make sure they understand what it is. That's all I would say.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I think, you know, with the first cycle of Hex being the only thing that was out there, a 10,000x was possible. And I think there are some unrealistic expectations, although 100x is not really that unrealistic. And now that you broke it down like that, that it is only a 45x to get 10x above sack rate. For some reason, I was thinking it was closer to 500x or so from where we were. I don't know why my math was not mathing anyway. Yeah, it's realistic, but again,
well, from the all-time bottom. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we keep getting delays from the all-time bottom for PulseX. That would be about 110x or so to get to 10x sack rate. So, I mean,
yeah,
that'd be pretty good from the bottom still. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, great question, Ivor, and we appreciate you being here. I thought that was a good one to go over. Do you have any final thoughts or charts you want to look at within Pulse Chain Ewok?
No, I don't believe so. I think they're all looking pretty bullish, and you know, we looked at PulseX, and Hex. I think we're pretty good.